Hey everyone, Kane here. I have noticed many people need help with their rosters. And every person I help or get to talk with, they have very similar problems. Someone says one faction is meta or overpowered, and everyone just completely drops what they are doing and focuses that faction or units. Please, for duck's sake, do not do that. You cannot drop what units you have and completely try to focus others. You can only slowly upgrade and change what you have. As an example, I can use my formation. I had 3 defenders, 2 offensive, 3 casters. I have been severely punished for leaving one lane open. So I decided to add one more tank, and the only decent options I had was to add another roster into my formation, Stronghold, and add Ogre in there. He would make Demon heal more from dodge, Pitfield heal more from her ability, and all lanes would be covered with a defender. However, I had to trade out my giant, which was one of my damage dealers, to have my field survive and still keep doing damage. As I am currently level 72, I don't have many units upgraded, and most of them are just average with some upgrades to make useful for roster. Nothing too impressive, especially for Dendroid and Ogre rosters. As you can see from my formation here, I have 6 Inferno units, 1 Rampart, and 1 Stronghold faction. That's 3 rosters. Defenders, offensive and casters add 3 more rosters. So I currently have 6 rosters to take care of. First, I will show my core rosters, and after I will show the weaker ones. After showing you my own roster layout, I will show you how I help someone on my Discord change theirs. Please note that this is only due to my formation. In no way I am saying this is the best way to do it for yourself. You may have trained and or upgraded different units. This is just showing you and explaining to you how I handle my roster to get the most out of it. If you do not use these units or any similar, do not copy the roster completely. From the first page, as you can see, I do not use castle units, and I do not use cavalry in my formation. So these 2 rosters, either I don't have any units, or I put them in that roster to remove that annoying red dot. Ranged units, I don't use apart from Crypt, I think, so they don't contain any useful units to me. Rampart and Stronghold rosters, I use 1 unit each in my formation, thus them being average power, at level 72. My 3 main rosters are defensive, casters and Inferno. As you can see, these numbers changed drastically. That is because 6 units in my formation are Inferno. That is why the Inferno roster for me has the highest. Currently, I have 4 defenders on my field. This is my next focus to make 20,000 plus. I have 2 casters on my field, as well as 2 offensive. However, I did not buy Fire Elemental from the shop, and I do not have offensive SSR units apart from Devil, thus me only having 4 units in that roster. I would like to make it better, but I prefer not to pay $15 for a unit I do not really need. Conflux and Tower, I do not really use. So 1 unit each or none, to remove that red dot. Now that we have covered the beginning, we need to analyze the rosters to see what can be done. Starting with my core roster, Infernos. It has all Inferno units, except Devil. The reason for that is, every unit in this roster is providing 3,000 to 4,200 power to each Inferno unit in my formation. And because my Devil is 3 stars, his roster score is not as good as the units you see in here. This is the best possible outcome that I can get at the moment for this roster. The only thing to improve is to 6-star Hellhound and upgrade his skills, 6-star Pit Fiend and upgrade her skills, upgrade the skills and potential of the other Inferno units in this roster. I made a stop at level 11 skills for the units I use, and that is enough, with the exception of making 3 demon skills level 15, to help him tank entire enemy field a lot easier. Again, this roster is buffing 6 units for me, 22,000 power each, approximately 130,000 power total. Moving on to caster roster. We have subpar units, the infamous Firebird, which many people love to upgrade. But this unit is completely useless. Good for first few days in the server, then he is just a roster unit, nothing else. All units are here are from different factions, Upgraded to at least be average of use for roster. Only unit in here that I focused to upgrade is Giant and Firebird, all the rest are purple quality in between level 50 to 70, same for their items or lower. Since I do not use Conflux, Necropolis, Castle, Tower, all their casters, into this roster. Moving on to Defender. I have a total of 4 defenders, but only 2 defenders are in my defender roster. Reason for that is, I have 2 Inferno defenders which give huge boosts. Putting those to here would end up weakening my backline damage dealers, buffers, Pit Fiend. But increase my survivability in terms of making Dendroid and Ogre stronger, taking more damage. But then, I would have 2 empty spots in my Inferno roster, and I would have 2 useless defenders I could not put anywhere else. Defenders that would be completely useless to me, and I would not earn any power from them. We can't have that now, can we? Efficiency wins in games like these and you need to use every little bit of things that you have. My current plan is to upgrade this roster to 20,000 plus, as it will buff 4 units that I have on my current field. It is not very hard to upgrade units to have a score of 1200, and that is enough for a unit to be average. Here is a basic example of my Walking Dead, and Iron Golem, and Swordman, showcasing their equipment, rank and skill levels. Offensive roster has Stronghold, Castle, Tower, offensive units that I do not use, and also my Devil. I do not have any SSR offensive units, and I did not buy Fire Elemental for $15 from the store. So this is the best offensive roster I can have at the moment, without upgrading units I do not need yet. This roster is buffing 2 units on my field. It is the 3rd best priority for me to upgrade in terms of rosters. Stronghold roster. I have only recently added Ogre into my formation, a day or so ago. I will upgrade a few things on Cyclops, and will Friday to have 1200 plus score, and leave it as it is. It is buffing only 1 unit, there are better things to upgrade. Rampart roster, as I explained in others, basic units, plus 1200 score, does not need much else, buffing only 1 unit. Not a big priority, there are better choices. Now that I have explained and used my own roster as an example for you guys, I asked one of my Discord members to send me some of their rosters for a chance to be added into my video. One of my members had this formation. In this picture, he has 3 factions, Necropolis, Stronghold and Castle. He has 5 classes, Defensive, Offensive, Cavalry, Caster and Ranged. This makes it a total of 8 rosters to upgrade. I personally have a total of 6, I added 6th only recently. This is his current roster. I will show each picture for a total of 5 seconds each. I did tell him, Necropolis is quite weak, but he cannot swap out Necropolis very easy. He has already upgraded units quite far. And just completely swapping to something else, will make you go back to the starting line. There will be a hero in the future, that I told him about, that will make Necropolis quite strong for a bit. I do not want to leak too much information and videos, but I can easily do that on our Discord that I will put a link down in the description below. This is a list of units that I told him to put into the respective rosters. Please pause the video if you want to continue reading. I have considered the score of each unit and the power it can give onto his field. And here are pictures of his new roster. You can go back on the video and check what he had before. Yes, he may have lost a little power due to swapping out a well-developed Orc, but he will make it back when he upgrades Behemoth. Orc is not a very good choice in his formation, as he needs a tank rather than a squishy damage dealer. This was probably the longest video I have done and edited. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below and I will try my best to help you whenever I have the time. It is a lot easier if people provide me pictures, then I can easily and quickly judge what needs to be put where. Thanks for watching.